Alright, so this video is going to be a little bit different and a bit more interactive. And basically what I'm going to do is share with you 5 taboos or bad words or things you're just really not supposed to say or do if you're a spiritual or a conscious or an awake person or a positive person. You're just not allowed to do these things. Because what happens is as humans, we obviously suffer. I mean, if that's news to you, I don't know. You have bigger problems and you should maybe turn off the video. But so what happens is we define what we experience. This sucks. This is like not good, or this is my belief system is bad, or my conditioning is bad, or this world is bad, but over here, this will be better. So what happens is most of the time we sort of take one dictator and replace it with another and think that that necessarily represents real change, because we're raised in a world that gives us a really false sense of dualism or dialectic, and a false sense of polarity. Yet we all, on a very deep unconscious level, have an attraction and a deep understanding of polarity. Night and day, hot and cold, male and female, masculine and feminine, sun and moon, sun and earth, moon and earth, we can go on forever. These are deep archetypical, psychological, psycho-spiritual, human things that we all have. But we're given McDonald's or Burger King, Pepsi or Coke, Republican or Democrat, labor or conservative, punk or whatever the fucking alternative is, I don't know, but you get the idea. And then we spend our lives, conscious, unconscious, spiritual, not spiritual, religious, atheist. We spend our life really just going through this dance, which really doesn't necessarily represent real change, because it's one dictator or another, usually. What comes along with that is what I touched on at the very beginning, which is a predefined sense of shoulds and shouldn'ts and musts and mustn'ts and codes and all these things, which basically ignore individuality, try to denigrate and demolish our real sense of self and make us surrender to some collective thing, which we're told is actually going to be empowerment. We're told is going to be whatever, but it never really is. And it actually enables the thing which it's supposedly trying to counteract. So for example, people are like, we need to be in groups and we're all going to be more responsible. But yet when people are in groups, they actually become less responsible, because the number one, if you've been anywhere in public and seen anything that happens, when something happens, what does everyone do? They look around and see what everyone else is doing and kind of wait. Who's gonna do something? Who's gonna make the first move? And then there's the weird, awkward thing where, am I gonna break the social whatever right now? I don't know. Let's just wait and see. Maybe someone else will take lead and I'll just chill. It's for some reason the way we've been conditioned. Anyways, this is a bit longer of an intro than I meant to do, but let's get to some of the main top, most hindering, most biggest misunderstood kind of taboos or should nots. These are things which suppress all of our masculine energies and all of our feminine energies as well, and create a weird, distorted dialectic. And I don't mean that in a gender or a sex way, I mean that in an archetypical way. So the first taboo is criticism or judgment. These are things that are obviously terrible. You can't do them. And if you hang out in any kind of community and have opinions, have criticism, have judgment, you're automatically an asshole. Wow, why would you do that? That's your being, so what? Number 2 is what you're being is negative. Can't be negative. Negative is bad, We're sold all this garbage about, just think positive. Just be positive. Everything will be better. And yeah, within each one of these things, there's a seed of truth, and there's also a lot of half-truths and a lot of things that are put out there that are pretty far from actually being accurate. So number 1, criticism / judgment, because those kind of go one and the same thing, which is like critical thinking in general, which is the dialectic of how to think versus what to think. Everyone's all about what to think, but not really about how to think, how to ask questions. People love answers, but not the questions. Okay, so number 2, negative. Number 3, anger. Oof, that's a doozy. You're not allowed to have that one either. I mean, it's just so negative, terrible. And then the 4th word or concept is superiority. And that, again, terrible. You know, we're all equal. We're all on the same ground. We're all blah, 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 we're all one, whatever. So, got to throw that out too. And number 5, most importantly, is being selfish or self-centered. Now, what I would like from you is this, to post basically what you think could maybe be the positive usages of those, or maybe you think they're just all inherently negative. Totally fine. And you can just post that and post why you think they're negative and why we should get rid of them or try to do whatever. Basically share your perspective on one of those things. Just pick one, share your perspective, and then basically what I'm going to do is do a video on each one and basically unpack it and show sort of the half sort of mistruth that we're sold about it, and then explore kind of a mature, authentic way of understanding and relating to each of these things and how they can really suppress and cause us to repress these really important, useful aspects of ourselves, which cause us to be less of who we are and less actually spiritual, and less actually authentic and fulfilled, and even less human in a lot of ways. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you will do the same. Post a comment and say whatever about any of those concepts, and then I'll basically include that in the videos that I'm going to make and respond to those, and it'll be sort of a bit more of an open source kind of interaction. So all you got to do, pick one of those things or pick 2, whatever you feel like, and post what you think about it, if it's positive or negative, how it could be in any of those things. And then what I'll do basically is film a video on each one and explore the positive and negative aspects, because obviously I would be silly to point out the fact that any of those things can be used destructively. They can be used to destroy things. They can be used very negatively. They can be used to hurt people, and they can be used to help us and empower us and make us more whole and more human and enable more growth and more positivity and whatnot from our lives, which is supposedly what we all want. So anyways, this video is a lot longer than I had originally anticipated. So post your comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video if you like it. And I'll talk to you soon.